Hi, welcome back to my channel, Mrs. Shank Knits. I'm May, and this is a little day in the life snowy Sunday edition. Nacho and I were not expecting this weather this morning, but we did run into his bestie Cusco, so they got to greet each other and play for a little bit, and that's always a fun way to start the day. After all my morning stuff was out of the way, I made a tea and sat down to work on my new wave socks. Also, can we first talk about how cute this beginning of row stitch marker is? It's from Twill and Print, and I love it so much. So this pattern is by Sashiko Bergen. These socks have been so fun to knit, and I picked a great combination of yarns, if I do say so myself. I've got two Retro Zaria Mondim, the gray and the purple, and two Riverside Super Socks. I think they look so cute together, and even though they don't have the same fiber content, they work up together nicely. The pattern is fun because it's a 9-row repeat, so it doesn't take long to see the colors change, and it's really addictive to see how the wave in the pattern works with the color changes. It's just really pretty and really fun to knit. Here you can see what they look like with all the colors. I've just switched back to the gray that I started with. So it goes gray Mondim, a variegated pink Riverside Super Sock, the lavender Mondim, and then the burgundy Super Sock. So pretty. Time for another walk and then lunch and some knitting on my Mini Vee Tee, which is a test. This one for Nicole Thorson. On Sundays, we all watch a movie together, and this week is The Dark Crystal. Comment if you remember that movie. So that's what I'm knitting to this afternoon. I forgot how weird this movie is, but like the high-pitched sound the bad guys make seriously brings me back to when I was a kid, like a really young kid. This is actually my second time knitting this top. I used a fingering weight the first time, but the only way I could get gauge was to use needles that were just too big. I think it was a 3mm or even a 3.5mm, so it looked messy, and I just stopped, frogged it, and switched to a DK, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. I'm actually enjoying the sea of stockinette this time around. I switched from the Raspberry Sorbet pink color of the Sandnes Garn Sunday to a really light pistachio in Harrisville Daylights called 826. It has a very subtle tweed effect that I love so much, and I think it will be so good for this pattern. So far, so good. My stitches are much neater this time around, so I think it'll look better overall, and it's coming together a lot faster. So now we've had dinner and gone for another walk, and we're playing Chinese checkers, and I'm knitting on Hexie Puffs while we play. This one is knit in the Hue Loco sock in Bashful. I usually get one done every night, but if it gets really intense, like if the game is intense, I don't finish. Also, we've been playing a game after dinner every night since December the 1st, and then we decided to challenge ourselves to a month of Chinese checkers because it's a really nostalgic game for us, but it was taking ages to get through them every night, and then Chris had the idea to take one row of marbles away to make the game shorter and a little easier to navigate. So we've been doing that for the last couple of weeks, and we call it Baby Chinese Checkers. It's been a hit, but since it makes the game move faster, that also means I have less time to knit my puff. So lately I've been getting about 3/4 of a puff finished a night. So if I do like 3/4 of one tonight, then tomorrow I'll finish it and get maybe halfway through a second one. But this only applies to Chinese checkers. Card games and board games have less knitting going on, so when we switch back to our regular rotation of games, this will get trickier. And this was actually the perfect game to film because I won by like a lot. Once all my evening stuff was done, Chris and I watched some true crime, and I worked on my spring bloom sock. This pattern is a test knit for the Knit Savvy, and I've already finished one sock, so really the testing of this pattern is done now, but I'm working on the second sock. I love this yarn so much for socks. It's the Forbidden Fibers Gluttonous Sock from their Marvel collection with the sparkles. Actually, I keep calling it that, but really it's their super nerdy club that they did with the Yarn Over truck in LA when we lived down there. I love it a lot because it's so comfortable to wear. It just makes really great socks. And this pattern is neat because the gusset decreases actually happen on the sole of the foot instead of on the side like they usually do. I've never seen that before, and it just looks so pretty. I'm just trying to get to the heel flap here before I switch to knitting something else for a little bit. Before I head to bed, I'm going to have another tea and knit a couple rows on my Mini Vee Tee again. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show some support. And if you're new here, subscribe to my channel for more of these casual videos. You can also follow along on Instagram for daily knitting content. I post my whips and things like that. I'm Mrs. Shank Knits over there. Thanks, guys.